Well, it was just a slip of the tongue, of course. I'll see it when I believe it. But Dr. Thane Pittman is an experimental social psychologist, so he certainly knew better than anyone how much truth there was in this particular gaffe. And it's true, we do tend to see more evidence to support an idea or a cause when we already believe in it. And this is because we search harder to find that evidence. We attach greater weight to it when we do, and our brains reward us for it with a dopamine rush. In contrast, evidence to support ideas and causes that are inconsistent with our beliefs, well, they tend to be downgraded, discredited, they have their source undermined, and if that doesn't work, well, we just ignore it altogether. This behavioral preference is known as the confirmation bias, and it has been the subject of much scientific research, including some of Dr. Pittman's. And that research has shown that we all do it. So any plan for complex decision making that assumes that we don't will come unstuck. In fact, any plan that assumes that we can somehow rid ourselves of all our behavioral tendencies simply because the task requires it will ultimately come unstuck. Now here's a quick reminder just to show you how the confirmation bias works. Now, if we believe one thing, then we will tend to spend more time looking at it. And as we do that, we are more likely to see that one thing hides another. Then we're likely to find some links, of course, between one thing and another. Sometimes those links are long and torturous. And we'll give weight to those other things. And we'll give weight to those links, even the long and torturous ones. So this is how the confirmation bias comes about. It's not a result of the strength of the argument, but of the initial focus of our attention. But there's an elephant in the room. We call it a bias, but the confirmation bias is only problematic if those beliefs are incorrect. Seeking to confirm something that is always true is something of a waste of time, but at least it's harmless. The confirmation bias is only destructive when it encourages us to give weight to things that are not true or that are no longer true. So what we must be mindful of is not whether we are prone to the confirmation bias, because we are, but whether those initial beliefs are robust in the first place. Now that's the reason why in a new presentation for the Investments and Wealth Institute, I'm going to talk about the way that those initial beliefs are formed. And this is going to be particularly pertinent for those people who are working in decision-making groups where there are members whose beliefs are not well-founded. So join me then